that emotional baggage that you're carrying around inside. And, you know, we want to urge you, go on Twitter, Facebook. Let us know what your point of view is on how you have lost your own baggage out there. We'd all love to know. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like those genes can be carried down from generation to generation? Those negative feelings, can they be inherited? Can a child grow up with those type genes?
I don't know, Jackie. I think
they can. I do. I think, you know, when somebody's raised in a negative environment, they kind of learn that behavior, and our personality is set by 5 years old. But, you know, the good news is that with Jesus Christ, we've been regened.
Right.
You know?
we got his genes.
Yeah, we got his genes.
Yeah.
So
Jackie, I come from a home, I have 6 sisters, and I had the most precious mama on earth, but she was a diva, and she wanted all of her girls to be tall and thin, and so she had her little stuff about, she wanted us all to be so tall and thin, and it carried down. I'm going to tell you, all my sisters still struggle to a bit, and I can go out in my closet, most of it's black because I hear my mom saying, we're black, it makes you look thin.
Wow.
I bought a striped dress last year, and the whole time up to the cash register, I could hear my mom, that is not going to look good on your eyes. And so I have
Did you pass that down to your children?
I started to, and God caught me midstream. And I truly believe, I heard a lady in a dressing room, I saw her walk in, she looked like about 10-year-old little girl, and I heard her say, that makes you look fat, and I almost wanted to cry because I thought, what's that little girl? She was a tiny little thing. Don't pass that down. If that's your issue, deal with it. Don't pass it down.
But passing it down to me is different than it being in your genes. I'm just not convinced that it can actually be passed down in genes.
Right.
I agree with it being situational. We definitely grab onto that baggage when we're children, and whatever experiences we've had, we can have experiences in high school, elementary school, it doesn't matter, all throughout life. Those things that affect us, things that people say do affect us, and we do carry it unless we deal with it.
You know, how about when your child acts up and you see yourself in your child?
all the time.
You know?
Yeah.
Is that a gene?
Is it a gene? Or is it the devil?
Thing, you know.
It's the devil.
That thing that you give your mom a hard time about, you sing again.
Say time. Yeah.
But you're right.
It's modeled behavior.
It's modeled behavior.
And
Very well
it's
said.
transferred behavior. And so you want to cut that before it's transferred, if it's not a good thing.
I like that. Transferred behavior. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we as parents need to be aware of how we're acting. I mean, you know, we've had a not so perfect family, not so perfect home. We have had, I mean, we're a real family. We have issues. We get angry at each other, and they're watching. You know, we got 3 little boys watching, listening, hearing, you know, and you just pray that, you know, they will not pass that on to
They'll just take the good stuff.
Yeah, take the good and leave the bad.
Yeah.
It's
Filter it.
It's important to be open. I mean, I think the main thing for years, I wanted to hide those. I wanted to come off as, you know, the perfect mom, the perfect Christian, the perfect
that. Who can do that?
But even with our kids to say, life is not perfect. Well, but life, to show our children, we're not perfect.
No.
We haven't got this all together.
No.
That's right.
And give them a real picture of what life is, so that when they move into the stages that we're in, you know, our sons, we just had our 2nd grandchild.
Yes,
so I'm seeing that
congratulations.
generational, you know, thing happening, and I just want for my kids to know that I've been honest with them, that life's tough. Marriage is tough.
It's very
and we need to be real about it.
We have to be proactive as well, because, you know, our children go to school. You know, they're
Oh,
influenced by
Lord,
others.
that's
So, you know,
it right
outside
there.
of the home,
That's it.
sometimes it's not just what we show our children, but what do they see when they're
That's where they
outside
pick up
of the
most
home.
of their emotional baggage. Right there in the classroom.
Sticks and
There's a lot of
stones.
things going on in school, bullying, you know,
Yes.
peer pressure,
Right.
you know, and so we have to provide that positive reinforcement and teach them when they come home, you know, the right and wrong things to do. Because I firmly believe when it comes to bullying, I'm looking at the parent, what's being done at home to reinforce, you know, good behavior in your child, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So you don't think the bullying's a generational thing in the genes that was passed down?
You know what? I actually don't. I think that it can be controlled. I think that it's up to the parent to really provide, you know, positive reinforcement, teach that child
Stable
what's right and wrong.
boundaries.
Exactly.
Yeah, stability
you know,
in their childhood. It
you
starts,
know.
like you said earlier, it starts at a very young age.
Yeah, the
and you need to,
formative years.
you've got to start then. You've got to start working with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a tough world out there. And there are no perfect families out there.
That's right.
You know, and I think that's, you know, we've talked about this before, Anne, how people do tend to hide behind a mask.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
you know, they may be carrying around loads of emotional baggage, but you would never know it.
Well,
You would never
oftentimes in
know.
our churches, I think we, as Christians, a lot of times will personify that you need to come in the church door looking perfect, acting perfect, not not having any of this junk.
You have had a blessed life all week. You've not had one problem.
But the truth
Your life is
is,
blessed and perfect.
even after we're saved, we deal with sin. I think we have to accept the fact
You gotta
that
get real.
we deal with sin.
Right.
Those people coming in the door are dealing with sin.
Yes.
We fight. It's a battle every day.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a battle every day. So
Yeah.
It sure is. Well, I tell you what, we could go on and on and on about emotional baggage and what we see in everyday life and the people that we meet, the ones we come in contact with at church and the people we work with. We never know what is going on in someone else's life until we have been in their shoes.
Exactly.
So to close this show out today, first of all, I'll say thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us at home. And we did receive a comment on Facebook from a lady named Susan, and I would like to read that. I first think one can't deny emotional disappointments are real, and one must realize not every day will be an emotional high. In all, being true to self and know we are a new creature in Christ.
It's a good comment.
Isn't that good?
thank you,
That'll
Susan.
preach.
Yeah,
It's good.
That's it.
Yeah, we're a
That's
new
it.
creature
Look,
in
My favorite
Christ.
quotes from Shakespeare, you know, to thine own self be true.
There you go. Being real, being true.
Yeah.
You know, not trying to hide behind a mask.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that that's the key right there. Don't hide. You know, I know you can't be out there.
Right.
Your feelings can't be out there for everybody. But you don't have to just store them all up inside.
And
You
isolate.
can find that safe person. And let me tell you, if you can't find a safe person, his name is Jesus. And you can tell him, you can unload on him. He wants you to unload on him.
Yeah.
All you watching at home, if you're having problems today, just know there is a safe person out there you can unload on.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. See you next time. Thank you for joining us. Remember, go to our social media sites, Facebook, Twitter. Let us know. What is your view? How are you dealing with emotional baggage? See you next time.